Hi, my name is Liz Hathway and this is my astrological look at the week ahead, and that is the week starting Monday, June the 10th, 2019. It's a really big week this week in many respects. It starts today with the Sun-Jupiter opposition, and I was kind of brainstorming about, how this might manifest, and one of the sort of things that came to mind was this idea of a call to what? I mean, Jupiter's opposite the Sun. It's a big challenge to the Sun. It's a face-off to the Sun. It's saying, right, challenge you to raise the level of your game, or I challenge you to raise your consciousness, or I challenge you to rally support for this idea or for this course of action. Because at the moment, the Sun's ruler is Mercury, and Mercury's in Cancer, and Cancer is all about, the kind of personal sort of sphere of influence. So it's rallying support for a personal vision or a personal mission even, or, personal thought or idea. But I thought it was very interesting that there's a lot of action at the moment in Hong Kong, where you've got loads. I think there was 1 million people on the streets there yesterday, and some violence there in the early hours of this morning. So this is one of the ways that we can see the Sun opposite Jupiter manifesting in the collective, because, Jupiter is about bigging things up. It's about multiplying it exponentially. And Sun in Gemini is already very much about ideas and about the strength of an idea and the force of an idea to change things and the power of the people. And at the same time, we've got a few other, shall we say, background aspects in play, which are reinforcing some of the themes. So if we look at the Sun-Jupiter opposition purely from a sort of personal perspective, one of the ways this can manifest, of course, is a lack of self-control, or can make extremely self-indulgent. It can also make you irritable or reckless or restless in a way, because there's a sort of insatiable quality to a Sun-Jupiter opposition, that sense of not being satisfied. And again, that not being satisfied can be exactly what calls people to arms, or calls people to demonstrate, or calls things to move and change, because these are movable signs. We've got this movable T-square, going on, which is one of the things I talked about a lot in last week's vlog. So yeah, that's the start of the week. That's on Monday, and then we get a bit later on in the week, and we get to Friday, and we get a whole new planetary sort of tableau opening up in a way. We have Mars trine Neptune, Mars conjunct the North Node, Sun parallel Mars, and then Mars opposite Saturn. So Friday, it's a very big Mars day, and with Saturn in Capricorn as well, which is Mars is exalted in Capricorn, Mars on the North Node as well. So again, we get this sense here with Mars in Cancer. It's being prepared to fight as well for what you believe in, but it has as well that personal colour, and it also has that sensitivity to it, which is why Mars is in fall in Cancer. There's over emotional, it's and then that Saturn-Mars opposition on Friday is sort of saying, is it worth it? Have you learned from your mistakes? Is this really the action that you want to take? Because don't forget, we've still got Sun-Jupiter in orb here, moving away, that's true, but it's still, it's still been sort of colouring the vibe of the week, the start of the week. So anything that's happening on Friday, we have to ask ourselves, is this serving my bigger plan, my bigger picture? Mars conjunct the North Node. What's my vision? Mars trine Neptune. Because, we've also got this other bigger, slower planetary picture in the background as well, which is Saturn-Neptune sextile. So Mars is playing into that. The second Saturn-Neptune sextile will be next week on Tuesday, so that's really coming back clearly into focus as well. So I think that Mars-Saturn opposition is asking us to, temper energy with restraint, being able to hold back, which is positive Saturn, I mean, you know, there's all the feeling there with Mars in Cancer, and, you know, there's a definite want to sort of go out there and, you know, give it your all. But is it worth it? That's what Saturn's saying, you know. Can you learn from past mistakes? Is this the right moment? Because you might expend a whole heap of energy and ultimately be disappointed in the result. That's kind of the way Saturn plays very often. So that's an interesting day again on Friday. Big day on Friday. It's got a very mystical feel to it as well, with Mars, Trine, Neptune, and certainly because Saturn, Neptune is coming back now clearly into the focus. I was looking back at the previous, the first Saturn, Neptune sextile, and I found that I dreamt a lot. I had a lot of dreams in that period, you know. So yeah, take note of your dream life. But also, I mean, because the theme of Saturn, Neptune, of course, is actually in the real world making things concrete. But certainly when you go to bed at night, you can have some interesting dreams, I think, this week, coming into that Mars-Neptune with Saturn-Neptune in the background. And if we play it through till Sunday, then I would say that's definitely the case, because then we have Mercury trine Neptune. So there's definitely from Neptune's area of, you know, of archetypal meaning. Neptune is very much about subtlety. It's very much about the empty spaces. It's very much about what's in the gaps, what's invisible, what comes to us through smells, through very subtle, you know, sort of use of the organs, the sense organs. Neptune is incredibly receptive to things that are invisible to the eye, but it sort of touches the soul in a way. So Mercury, Neptune, with Neptune, Saturn in the background, Mars, Neptune on Friday. So there's a very Jupiter, Neptune, Saturn, all these sort of threads running through this week, making a really interesting tableau. So yeah, we have Mercury trine Neptune on Sunday, and then we have Mercury conjunct the North Node. So it's picking up on Friday's Mars conjunct the North Node. So look where the North Node is transiting in your house at the moment, because it's certainly an area in a week like this that it would be worthwhile just having a little think about it and think, is there any way I'd like to put some energy in here to try and, you know, change the course of that house, or change the approach I have to affairs of that house. And then Mercury as well, opposite Saturn, which, as again, I think Saturn's role this week is really asking us to question, you know, we've got all this emotional stuff with Mercury and Mars, and we could get very angry and heated and, you know, lack of self-restraint. And, you know, there's definitely, though, with Saturn so strongly in the picture on the South Node, it's saying learn from past mistakes. You don't need to do that one again. You can hold back, observe, and maybe instead of react, you might be able to just respond this time. And that's a different energy than reacting. And then again on Sunday, we have another big aspect, because we have Jupiter square Neptune coming into play again. So again, big aspect, Jupiter, Neptune. Our sympathies are really, you know, we're just open to help people. We're open for giving. We're very philanthropic. We want to, you know, we want to be involved in joint ventures. We want to be among other people. We want to let our voice be heard. It's very much a galvanizing, rallying, all come together sort of energy, higher ideal, socialism. But it's a square. So, you know, we have to temper it with realism. We can't afford to put on, you know, the tinted glasses and, you know, see things that as we want to see them, as opposed to as they are. And we also have to refuse to allow others to play on our sympathies, and whereby, you know, be able to manipulate us or kind of coerce us into action that is ultimately going to harm us. So Jupiter Neptune, it's like a sea journey, you know. We have to somehow get to the other side, but we mustn't be reckless, and we must be use our wits and be clever and be aware and be conscious, and not allow ourselves, you know, to be drawn off course too much by the wonderful sounds of Neptune, you know, which can enchant but also can lead us astray. So it's a massive week. Massive week. Really interesting. I wish you a good one. Thanks for listening. Bye.